All right, so you guys requested it, a full look at what's going on in Moroccan sports these days, and, well, we've got you covered.
Oh, yeah. We dug deep for this one, huh?
Yeah,
Everything from the big leagues to the, well, maybe not so big leagues, but no less important. From football, of course. Gotta have football.
of course.
Basketball, track and field, you name it. Basically, if it's happening in Morocco and it involves, a ball or running or something, we've got the scoop.
Consider this, like your cheat sheet, all right, to what's hot and what's not, and what's going to be huge in Moroccan athletics right now. And I think what's fascinating, I was just looking at this before we started, is where people in Morocco actually get their sports news, because obviously, we've got ESPN and all those big international outlets.
Right, of course, yeah, and those are definitely there.
But it seems like Moroccans are really loyal to their own, like, homegrown sources.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, you look at the numbers, right? Sites like elbatola.com, that's like the go-to for the Bototola Pro, their National Football League, they're pulling in over 3 million visits a month, mostly direct traffic, meaning people are typing that in directly. They know where they're going.
Wow, that is dedicated.
It is. And it's mostly mobile, too, so people are checking scores and news on the go. Then you've got allmounttocab.com. They're all about the national teams, a bit smaller, but still, over 1 million hits a month. Again, mainly direct and mobile. Shows a real, passionate fan base, really plugged in.
Yeah, that's impressive. So even with those global sites like SofaScore or FlashScore, which I've noticed they've got their dedicated Morocco sections now.
They do. They're catching on.
It seems like Moroccans really prefer to get their news straight from the source,
Yeah.
from their own people.
Yeah, there's something to be said about that connection. All right, so are we ready to kick things off with, well, I guess there's only one place to start, right? Football. Got to start with the football. Yeah, let's talk Lions of the Atlas. I mean, they just snagged a win against Niger in the World Cup qualifiers, 2-1. Not a blowout, but hey, a win's a win, right?
True, but not everyone was thrilled, I mean, Coach Reger, he actually came out and said he was disappointed.
Really? Disappointed.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. The expectations are sky high for this team, especially after their performance at the last World Cup. So a narrow win, even against a team like Niger, it just doesn't cut it. They're aiming for dominance, not just scraping by.
I see. Yeah, that makes sense. So looking ahead, what's next for them in these qualifiers?
Big one coming up, home game against Tanzania. That's going to be crucial. They need to secure those points. But they'll be without their star defender, Achraf Hakimi. He's suspended for this one.
Oh, that's a blow, isn't it? He's like their rock at the back.
He is, yeah. So it's a chance for someone else to step up. But yeah, definitely a loss. And speaking of, the next generation, got to mention the U20s. They had a good showing. Beat Sierra Leone in a friendly.
Okay, good for them. But, and there's always a but, right? They've got a really tough group in the U20 Africa Cup of Nations, so we'll see how they handle that pressure cooker.
And I mean, speaking of pressure cookers, Morocco is going to be hosting the U17 Africa Cup of Nations next year. That's a lot of eyes on these young players.
It is. Huge opportunity for them, though.
Yeah.
I mean, to play on home soil in a tournament like that, that's a dream come true for any young athlete. They've got Casablanca, Mohamedia, Berchid, and El Jadida all lined up as host cities, so the whole country is going to be buzzing, I imagine.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Now, I was looking at the groups for that. Morocco's in Group A with Uganda, Tanzania, and Zambia, right?
That's right. Definitely some tough competition in there, but, home advantage, who knows? Could be the age they need.
Fingers crossed. Now, let's switch gears a little bit, talk about the Botola Pro, the National League. Who's at the top right now?
As it stands, Renaissance, Sportive, Dieberkane, RSB, they're the ones to beat.
Okay, RSB. And what about the Coupe du Trône? Any interesting developments there?
Well, Raja Club Athletic just took home the trophy in the most recent final, beat AS Ferrar, so they're on a high. But there's also some, shall we say, off-the-field drama brewing with Raja de Beni Mellal.
Oh, what happened?
Apparently some serious management issues just before they're set to face, of all teams, Raja Casablanca. So yeah, adding a whole other layer of tension to that matchup.
Wow, that's a story to follow, for sure. And, we can't talk Moroccan football without mentioning the players who are killing it abroad. I mean, Achraf Hakimi, he just bagged 2 goals for PSG. The guy's a machine.
He is. World-class talent right there.
Yeah.
And Naif Aguerd, he was instrumental in that Niger win we talked about. Solid performance. And the rumor mill's churning. They're saying Real Sociedad's looking to sign him permanently.
Interesting. Yeah, keep an eye on that.
And Brahim Diaz, can't forget about him. He was pulling the strings in that Niger match, really showed his quality. So, yeah, Moroccan players are making their mark on the global stage, that's for sure. And, I mean, you think back to last year, Wydad AC winning the CF Champions League. Those are the moments that really put Moroccan football on the map.
Absolutely. So much talent coming out of Morocco. All right, well, let's move beyond football for a bit. What's happening in the world of Moroccan basketball?
Right. Well, domestically, FUS Derabat, they're the team to beat right now, leading the National 1.
Okay, FUS Adirabat, got it.
But what's really exciting is that Morocco is going to be hosting the Kalahari Conference of the BL, the Basketball Africa League, in 2025. That's huge for basketball on the continent, a real sign that Morocco is stepping up as a major player in the sport.
That's fantastic. And the national team, they're gearing up for the FIBA Afrobasket qualifiers, right?
They are trying to build on that momentum from winning the FIBA African last year. And, you've got initiatives like that NBA Africa collaboration with the Mohammed VI Polytechnic that's all about developing young talent, long-term vision, which is great to see.
Yeah, that's awesome. Now, Morocco's always been a powerhouse in athletics, track and field especially. What can we look forward to there?
Well, coming up in June, you've got the Moroccan Athletics Championships, always a showcase of incredible talent. And, of course, we can't forget about Soufiane El Bakkali, the Olympic champion.
Oh, right. He took gold in the steeplechase in Paris.
He did, and that just shows, Morocco is still a force to be reckoned with on the world stage when it comes to athletics.
Absolutely. And what about some of the team sports? Handball, volleyball, anything exciting happening there?
Well, the handball team, they just wrapped up their CN 2024 campaign, had some good wins against Gabon and Libya, also competed in the World Championship last year. They've even got their group for the 2025 World Championship all set.
Yeah.
And Morocco's been busy hosting, too. They held the African Handball Champions League just a few months ago.
Wow, keep him busy.
They are.
Yeah.
And in volleyball, the men's beach team, they actually won the African Championship and qualified for the Olympics in Paris.
No way. That's amazing.
It is. And a Moroccan duo also snagged gold at the Arab Beach Volleyball Tour, so they're making waves. The women's team got third place in the African Championship, so yeah, volleyball's definitely on the rise in Morocco.
That's awesome to hear. And what about combat sports? Is Morocco making a name for itself there, too?
Oh, absolutely. We had Wydad Bertal just become world champion of boxing, won the Women's World Championships, a huge accomplishment. Even King Mohammed VI sent his congrats. That's how big a deal it was.
Wow, that is huge.
And the whole national boxing team, they just won the African Championship, so they're a force to be reckoned with. Hasne Larti, she took bronze in the World Championships, too. So, yeah, Moroccan boxing is definitely punching above its weight right now.
Awesome. And before we wrap up, any other sports we should touch on? Swimming, tennis, anything like that?
Well, Morocco just hosted the Winter Swimming World Cup, which is cool to see. Shows their commitment to hosting all sorts of different events. And we had Malak Makwar snag a gold medal at the Arab Age Group Swimming Championships.
All right, solid performance.
Yeah. And in tennis, the Moroccan teams, they absolutely dominated the African Championships, qualified for the Tennis World Cup, and they also won gold at the African U18 Championships, which means they're going to be playing in the BNP Paribas World Team Cup next year. Plus the Grand Prix Hassan II. That's a big ATP tournament happening in Marrakech soon.
Nice. All right, so to wrap things up, Morocco's obviously got some massive events on the horizon. I mean, we can't not talk about the World Cup.
Oh, yeah, the big one. 2030, Morocco's co-hosting with Portugal and Spain. That's going to be absolutely massive for the country.
I can't even imagine the excitement.
And on top of that, they've got the Africa Cup of Nations in 2025, and they're hosting the FIFCO World Corporate Champions Cup that same year in Fez. So, yeah, Morocco is becoming the place to be for global sports, that's for sure.
Absolutely. Well, it's clear Moroccan sports are thriving. I mean, not just in football, but across the board. And that's what I think is so exciting.
Yeah, and you see the ambition, the drive to succeed, not just domestically, but on the world stage, and that's something special.
It really is. And I think it makes you wonder, with all this success, with all these eyes on Morocco, how will this impact, national identity, Will we see even more young athletes inspired to pursue, I don't know, maybe handball or volleyball instead of just football? It's an interesting thought.
It is, and something to watch for sure. Morocco is stepping onto the global stage, not just in sports, but in so many ways. And it's exciting to see what the future holds.
Absolutely. Well, great insights as always. I learned a lot today.
Glad to hear it. Always happy to dive deep into these topics.
Until next time, thanks for joining us on The Deep Dive.
See you later.